Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to take a look at the new and improved Flareon VMAX deck here. Thanks very much to Ember Power, who had recommended the Peony trainers here. Definitely helpful. And I think the other changes we made, we reduced the amount of Volcarona. I had a Zacian in here up until recently just to, in case I drew dead, but that hasn't been happening. I find myself using it less and less. So scrap that for the start of this. We'll see, maybe we'll have to put that back in. The key for the Peony is to be able to get the cards out that we need, whether we need a switch, a great ball, or an evolution incense. And I've only put 2 of each of these in, mostly because if we prize one, chances are the other one's in there. We can get it if we need it. Oh, I guess the elemental badge as well. So we're trying to make it so that our Peony is going to get us exactly what we need out of the deck without clunking up the deck too much, to give us enough space for these this massive 34 fire energies. Research, just we're going to mill through our whole deck if we can. Take what we need, put it down on the board, and then discard the rest. So pretty simple. In terms of components, I had Quick Ball in there, but that was a little bit difficult because where you had to discard a card, if you're trying to search it out with your Peony, then you end up having to discard the other card in your hand, and then you have nothing left. So I find it sometimes nice to be able to get a research as that second card if I don't need something else immediately, so that the next turn I can immediately get a fresh new hand and keep on rolling. So let's get into some games. Alright, let's get into some games here. Hopefully we don't run into too many Ice Riders. Those are pretty bad for Flareon. We got an Urshifu, maybe, probably. We gotta really hope for some Flareon Vs off the start. It's a shame that we can't put more of them down, or in the deck rather. Oh, we got the Volcarona. Usually don't want the Volcarona until later on, unless you're playing against something that's easy to knock out, then it doesn't really matter. Like single prize deck or something like that. Here we go, we got a Flareon. I guess we'll attach to Flareon because we can't attack because we went first. And then next turn, we are ready to bang. We can get our switch and our tool. We'll be ready to use our Flareon VMAX attack. Early on in the game, it might be a little less effective. Kind of sucks that we're up against the Inteleon here because he's going to do lots of damage to us, but not a big deal. Now, important to remember, I messed this up a couple times when playing around with the deck. We want to attach this energy before we use our Peony because that's going to get rid of all our energies here. So if we needed to evolve, we could grab that, but we want to switch, and we want an elemental badge. We're going to have a very bare hand, but it's okay, because now we can max detonate and smack some 400s. Little less likely to get those 400s early on where there's still lots of stuff in our deck. Awesome that we just got a Professor's Research, so that's going to give us a brand new hand on the next turn, and we can start setting up another Flareon. So the consistency is real here, as long as we get the Flareon V, which is pretty likely. We might end up getting a couple mulligans. I've seen that happen. Usually one. The very odd time we get 2. So they might get a couple extra cards, but so as you can see, we already have 7 fire energies in the discard there, which is pretty great. going to remove an energy from our Flareon, so we'll reattach that, and we will research. Cool. So next turn we'll have some setup here, and we'll have a whole lot more energies discarded. And Volcarona is ready to hit for some pretty decent numbers. Let's try our detonate. I wish this would go a little slower. So there we get a little bit unlucky. We get the 200 damage, but it's alright. Flareon's down. At the same time, putting more energies into the discard here. Plus, we're about to put a whole bunch. So let's attach our energy before we do that. We only need one energy on the Volcarona to attack, so you can kind of wait until you need him to make it happen. So let's get a research for the next turn, which is not going to be a next turn. And we don't want the Flareon VMAXs in our hands necessarily, because those are going to be discarded if the game was going to continue, if they had another Pokemon. Victory! So a little bit scary there going up against the water type, but it's okay. It looked like they got a pretty bad draw, I guess. Didn't have enough, and we got everything that we needed right away. So just shows how awesome this thing can be when it pops off just the right way, but much more consistent now that the changes have been made. Alright, let's play another game. It'd be good to get a nice mix against some of the good stuff. You pretty much don't stand a chance against Ice Rider, so I don't know if we want to see that or not. Maybe we'll thrust one of those in here if we can come across one while I'm playing this morning. So here we go, we got a dead hand. Unfortunately, we got the VMAX, not the V. We need like a Ditto V that you can turn into a Flareon V. So like Ditto Prism. We need Ditto Prism for Vs. So here we go, Volcarona start. Not the greatest because we don't have any energies in the discard yet, unless we're playing against something grass or something. We got Sabo, which doesn't tell us a whole lot because oftentimes our Great Ball fails on us. Alright, so I guess we just attach to our Volcarona and we're done. So the only thing that I wish is there was a better way that this could get you basic Pokemon. There isn't really a great way. We got Great Ball. As I said, we had you can get quick balls with them, but then you just end up in trouble because you had to discard your other card that you get by using them. So at this point, we don't have the components to put anything onto our Flareon, so we're probably going to research and hope that we can start setting up. Unfortunately, these guys are going to be discarded in the process, but that's just unlucky. For some reason, we keep getting trainers, even though the odds are not in that favor. Right, we got Flareon. We have, we got a Rowlet in there. Evolution Incense. So there is I think there's a scroll as well for single strike that we can use that'll make an attack. I guess we can put that into the deck if we end up running into a lot of problems. I guess we might as well put our second Flareon V there. We could have saved that Evolution Incense. There wasn't really any point in putting it down. Really nice when you get to attack with Flareon. If you're going second, then you can use Flaming Breath to charge yourself up, get another energy on there. Not necessary, but certainly helps charge yourself up so you can get the VMAX on them and start discarding cards for damage. Oh, rare candy. Rare candy. So we can't do any damage to him, so I think we're in trouble here. We don't have anything teched into the deck, so we're gonna have to give it the old concession, which is really sad. Alright, so if we started to run into a lot of Decidueye or something that prevents damage from V or VMAX, V and VMAX, then we can use, we could tech this in as like a one-off, I guess. So where this isn't affect, damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance or by effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. Glaceon has a prevention of VMAX damage, which is not really a big deal because then we can attack with the Volcarona. So this is just an option there. If for some reason Decidueye started running rampant and you were playing nothing but that, you can get them back with this little baby here, Scroll of Piercing. Next, all right, let's see. I want some big VMAX here so I can slap them for big damage. We get the Mewtwo X and Y. Accessories, which is interesting. Looks like we might be playing against Eternatus based on the coin, but you never know. Alright, we got our Flareon V. We got 2 Flareon Vs. That is a good hand to start off with. Unfortunately, they're going to get an extra card, but it's the price you pay. It'll be alright. Attached to our Flareon, and we're done. Unfortunately, we don't have anything else. A nice research or something like that would have been ideal, but not much you can do. Maybe we'll draw Peony for the next turn would be extremely great, because then we can attach and we can evolve and put our item card on. Or elemental tool. Alright, we get Moltres, Eternatus deck. I've had mixed luck against Eternatus, depending on how fast they get set up. Sometimes pretty hard to stop them. So these Crobats. We don't have any Gust at the moment. It's a little bit hard, a little awkward to tech that in. I guess I could put a Boss's Orders or two, but at the same time, I don't know if that makes it any better or worse. Oh, we're gonna be in trouble here if we don't get something to refresh our hand. We are powered up now with our first Flareon, but there's only so much time we can give them before they're gonna come in here and Eternatus VMAX us, like so. And our poor little Flareon only has 210 HP, so he can get slapped pretty hard. I guess for turn there we could have attached to a second one, just in case he does get knocked out. Then we're not starting from scratch. It's a little bit of misplay there, though we're in a pretty bad spot in terms of the cards that we're drawing. Seems like an ongoing theme this morning. Getting all the same cards at the well, the energies you expect, just because there's so many in the deck. But to get 3 Flareons off the start or 3 research in a starting hand or something like that is pretty awkward. Alright, we can research. Awesome. We can pretty much assume that we're going to get another fire energy in the next hand after we research, so that's why I didn't attach beforehand. We're going to Great Ball and hope that we get a Flareon VMAX, and we don't. We got another Flareon V. And I guess we attach. We can Scorching Column. So we're not really affected by any of the stadium cards, the negative effect stadium cards, especially that Path to the Peak, since we're not using any abilities. The only thing that was is the Zacian that I had in the deck that I took out. Let's see here. Turn the focus off on this camera, the autofocus. It's bugging out on me. So we got the Peony, which is good. So next turn we can at least we can hit back, even if he does knock out our Flareon, which I would imagine that there's no reason for him to knock out one of the ones that doesn't have the 3 energies attached. We got a Weavile. Just gonna move some energies around here. Load up for this 30x. So our Flareon is going to be severely knocked out. On the bright side, I guess there's not really any bright side. He's going to attack again with the Eternatus VMAX. So $270 right in the Flareon. It's okay though. We're coming back. Hopefully we can get rolling here for the comeback. Terrible start. I don't think he had the optimal start either, but alright. Let's go. We got Flareon. We got 2 energies on him. That's all we need. We Peony. And then we are going to Evolution Incense so we can evolve. And we are going to Elemental Badge so we can attack. So, badge him. Let's get our Flareon VMAX. Oh, baby. Let's evolve him. And then we're going to slam for some max detonate. We're going to 400 damage that little Eternatus. Alright, 3 prizes. We're looking good. We get another Flareon VMAX. Pretty awesome, although we are not even close to having him with enough energies to attack. So we'll see what he does here. I want to imagine that he's going to attack us with these Eternatus. We might end up coming down to a little bit of a gamble, where we gotta hope that we do have quite a few things out of the deck to make it mostly fire energy, but you never know. Sometimes if we hit 3, then we're boned. We gotta hit 4 or more, or he's going to be able to attack us twice, and our Flareon will not survive, unfortunately. If we had a boss's orders, that'd be pretty cool, because then we could bring out something that we can one hit a little easier. We'd only need 2 to kill a Crobat. We only need 2 prizes, so pretty much what it comes down to is going to be this randomization of what's going to come out of the deck. Oh baby, 500. So I think it was in our favor. The odds were in our favor, or at least very close to a split on the 4 or more energies. We got 5 for the overkill. We're going to take the prize cards and we're going to say good night, Eternatus. Our start was terrible there, and we still managed to pull it off, but you never know. Certainly better than ever. Flareon is, I was a little concerned that it was going to be too gimmicky, but this is working pretty good. Again, if you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. I'd be glad to try them out. I'll be building the deck in physical form as well, so any changes that might make it even a little bit better would be awesome. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.